explain the Electoral College and pros and cons of that?
Anyone at all?
I don't know what that is.
People like vote on stuff. I just don't know.
People vote on stuff?
Yeah, they don't they? I don't know.
Crib, you want to cap this off?
No
Well,
idea.
there's a popular vote, right?
Yep.
So popular vote would be, you know, if me and Chris run for some office, if I get more votes than him, I win, right? Which makes sense, which is what a vote is. But the electoral vote, what it was created for was for the population of each state. So the more population per state, the more power the vote
There
has.
it was.
So you can win more popular votes, but lose the election, which
Yeah.
actually happened in the election of 2000. with
Florida
George
and
Bush
Gore
Al
and
Gore.
Bush, yeah. Excellent.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. So who is the Speaker of the House?
Speaker of the House is John Boehner.
Who is the Vice President?
Vice President is Mr. Joe Biden.
Who is the Secretary of State?
John Kerry.
Thank you.
Explain the media's role during a campaign.
They help just show them what they want to do. That's all I had to say.
There we go. Perfect.
Ask her that one. Okay. Do you know what happened in Florida during the 2000 election?
Oh, with the hanging chads? That one? Yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain what happened? Can you
Well,
explain it?
This is where I had to be careful with my politics because I think it was just a huge Republican cover-up. You know, it was a stuffed ballot box sort of thing. Yeah, it was underhanded and undermined the whole electoral process.
Okay, thank you.
That's perfect.
Okay. Do you know what happened in Florida during the 2000 election?
Oh, with the hanging chads? That one? Yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain what happened? Can you
Well,
explain it?
This is where I had to be careful with my politics because I think it was just a huge Republican cover-up. You know, it was a stuffed ballot box sort of thing. Yeah, it was underhanded and undermined the whole electoral process.
Okay, thank you.
That's perfect.
If the vice president dies, falls ill, or resigns, who would be the next to be appointed president?
I think it's the Speaker of the House. Excuse me.
Why would someone not run against an incumbent from the same party, even if they think they might do better?
Well, I don't know what an incumbent is, so...
An incumbent is like if the incumbent would be the person that already holds the office.
Oh,
Like-
someone might not want to run against them because a lot of people already know. Because the incumbent already has a lot of supporters, and if they run against them, then they might be seen as lesser when they could just wait one more election period, and then they would look like a fresh new candidate.
Number two. Okay. Can you explain the Electoral College?
Okay, well, to become president, you have to have a majority in the electoral college, majority of votes. Every state gets a number of votes based on their representatives in Congress, so how many representatives they have and how many senators they have. So, for example, Massachusetts has 9 congressmen and 2 senators, they get 11 votes in the electoral college, and then you just kind of add up. If a candidate wins a state, they get all the electoral votes from that state, and then they just add up the states, and if you have a majority, I think it's 535, if you have a majority of those, you win the presidential election.
Do you think that it should be the Electoral College over just like a popular vote where every person's vote is one vote? Or
That's a great question. It's tough because if you just did it by population, then presidential candidates wouldn't really care about states with low population because, who cares about winning Alaska? You win New York City, win New York, win California, win Texas. That's where in Florida, that's where most of the people live. So if you win in those 4 states, you could win the whole election. But it's a great dilemma. One person, one vote.
Perfect.
that was a fantastic answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Can you explain the media's role during a campaign?
I have no idea. Wait, what is it?
The media's role during like a campaign, like
Oh,
presidential
like
campaign.
what they do, like how media can like help. Maybe like Facebook. I don't know, like advertisements are good, news, like that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah.
Good.
The same one we just asked her, okay. Can you explain the media's role during a campaign?
Well, pretty much everybody thinks they're a political expert during campaigns, like on media. It's super annoying because they think they know everything, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too. So, yeah. So I think people are annoying and abuse social media during campaigns.
Can you explain the media's part in a campaign?
Media is responsible for spreading awareness about a candidate's beliefs and their platform, stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Why would someone not run against an incumbent from the same party?
Virtually no chance of winning, especially if we're talking about presidential election. When I say virtually no chance of winning, it'd be unless maybe there's a scandal, unless the country is in a terrible place economically, maybe involved in a foreign policy, a war that's unpopular, maybe something like that. And maybe there's a shift in the party where the party is starting to go back to, for instance, let's say the Republican Party. Say if there's a shift and people want to go back to it, like the roots, like with the Tea Party, like a grassroots. It's beginning, if you will. So maybe some of the establishment Republicans were less popular. Maybe there'd be a Tea Party candidate or something like that who might want to challenge an incumbent. But that rarely does that get to the presidential level. That you probably have a better chance in the Senate with maybe someone challenging an incumbent from the same party. But let's look at it like this: the last election in 2008, if a Democrat challenged Barack Obama, it would be a virtually no-win proposition, and the party wouldn't want to appear split. So if President Obama had to go through a primary in which he was constantly debating, maybe he was someone who was bringing up a lot of his flaws, maybe using some of his words against him, that could make him seem vulnerable. And by having the Republicans or Democrats fight it out in a primary with each other, they're the ones who are damaged, while the incumbent doesn't have to go through any of that, so he or she would appear stronger come the general election. So, to conclude, I would say, except for some rare exceptions, challenging an incumbent from your own party is pretty much a no-win proposition.